There is a hidden tax that you are paying inside your coaching business. And that is the tax of inbox amnesia. So you've probably been told by a mentor or some sort of a business advisor that you need to use a lead tracker. You need to track the leads that are coming in, and we need to be able to see the data. The problem is you forget. And that forgetfulness to update that tracker is costing you thousands to tens of thousands every month of lost leads that are just slipping through the cracks. We've done all the hard work to get the leads into our system, but because everything is relying on your memory, sometimes the leads are just going to slip through the cracks. So let's fix that today. So here's the big issue. Most coaches are treating their lead tracking like a kind of chore list where they're like, all right, I have to go track all these people. I have to tick the boxes to see like who applied. Oh, this fella booked a call. I have to log this here. And it's not the way that it should be. Instead, it should be like this place that you can go to get insight. It shouldn't be a case of like, all right, you'll see the typical Google sheet that probably your mentor gave to you, where it's like, hey, track all your leads inside here, populate them here, mark them off, and all this. You might even have a VA doing the exact same thing for you. But instead, we should have a system that does this. The big idea is that we should be able to go to the place and see, right, these are qualified leads. These 3 people are ready to buy. These people have applied. These people have booked calls. These people have downloaded lead magnets. If you click into the profile, we'll see a more in-depth kind of view of the person and what they've actually done. We should be able to see the people who are kind of disengaging, where they might have like applied but never actually got to the stage of booking a call. They might have had a call with you but never closed, and now it's been a few months later. And then we want to see like, right, well, of all the people that we are closing and getting into our coaching program, here's where it all came from. Here was the source. Here's what actually drove the most revenue. Was it this lead magnet? Was it this coaching offer? Was it this application form? Like, where did they actually come from? And that's what we want. And the best thing is, this can be completely automated, and I will be showing you how to automate this. We'll be doing like a full step-by-step tutorial, but we have to understand this kind of theory side of it first. Now, I'm just going to swap over to the tablet, and we'll dive into what we actually need inside here, because there's 5 key things that we need. There's 5 pillars to getting the tracking done effectively for it to actually work. And we're going to break them down one by one. So the first thing that we have, tablet on, first thing that we have is the bandwidth trap. Now, if you are, let's say, running ads at the moment, you're running ads. So we're getting a few more people into our funnel. Then we have an application link in our bio. So we have a few more going inside there. Then we use Instagram DMs. We might have like a seller doing it with us. Then there's a link to your Calendly profile. People can book in there. We have different lead magnets. We have a school community. And then we have like a YouTube series that we're doing. All of that is flow of leads coming into our ecosystem, our like kind of coaching offer, whatever you want it to be. Now, the issue is, with all of those, every time that we have to remember, right, who actually applied, we have a little hole in the bucket. Then somebody is supposed to get back to you Monday. That's another hole. Somebody said that they have to think about it. That's another one. We have to remember who actually downloaded what. We had a lead magnet and an email go out there the last day, and we don't know who actually engaged with it. All of these things that normally take, I suppose, your memory, they create holes in the bucket. It's a really shit drawing to show you what I mean, but you'll get the idea. So when we have all of these little parts that are relying on us to remember or to track, like who came in from the application forms, like if you're not tracking that, then you're not really going to know what the actual close rate was on those applications. Out of all the applications, how many of them actually got onto the call? And the problem is, if we're still treating our lead tracking like that chore and that task of the things that we have to do where it's manual, realistically, we're not going to fucking do that, are we? Like, we're not going to sit down and track every single one. So what we need is, do you remember this fella? This is your lead tracker over here, full of holes. And what we need is some automation to help plug that, because we probably don't even need more volume going through our like funnel or like sales process or whatever you want to call it. We just need to plug the holes to make sure that the leads that we do get inside there, we can actually track effectively and make sure that we get the most out of them and hopefully convert a lot more of them too. So we need to use automation. Now, how exactly do we use it properly? Well, there's 5 key pillars when it comes to tracking. So the core pillars of tracking, the first one is going to be auto population. So auto populate. The next thing is we don't want like duplicates of leads. We want to make sure that when somebody comes in, we already know who they are. If they're there already, if they're not there, we want to create them. So we have identity matching. Apologies. After the identity matching, we then have the pipeline stages. After the pipeline stages, we then have the follow-ups and reminders. And then after that, we have the actual data, which is going to be like the dashboards. Now, what does this actually mean? So the first thing is with the auto population of the leads, like it would be great to say, hey, anytime that somebody messages you, we're going to populate their name on the lead tracker. Then if they message us again, we're going to update the last time that we contacted them. That's fine until you start to add a bit of volume to it. After a while, then it becomes fairly, I suppose, clear that you can't keep this up. There has to be an easier way to do this. So we want to make sure that getting the people into the lead tracker is as frictionless as possible. And there's a few ways that we can do that. The first way is we are going to use ManyChat. So this is going to be when somebody goes, right, they send you a DM. We're then going to see like, right, what happens from that DM? Is it to get the application form? Is it to book a call? Is it to get a lead magnet? So whatever is happening there. And then from there, we are adding them into the tracker. And then importantly, with that, we have to make sure that they're tagged appropriately. So let's say if Aaron messages you and says, hey, fat loss, because I've seen a fat loss guide, you send me a fat loss guide, I should go into your lead tracker and be tagged with fat loss guide. Then the next time that I message you, I might say something like offer. So you send me your actual offer document. So then it should find my profile inside the lead tracker and then tag me with offer document as well. So then if you're looking at your lead tracker and your VA is like, hey, who should we reach out to? You're like, well, there's all these people here who have the fat loss guide. Why not reach out to them specifically about the fat loss guide? And you literally have a lead list created for you automatically. So either you could do it or your VA or whatever you want to do, but automatically moving from keywords into the lead tracker. The next one then is stuff like Typeform. And that would be stuff like when somebody fills in your form. It's a really terrible looking form, but somebody fills in your form. From there, then they should go to your tracker. And then, as always, we want to update them on the tracker. So all their application details should actually be on their profile inside their lead tracker. And then another one then is like Calendly. So from Calendly, once they actually book in for a call, this is my best attempt at showing a calendar. Probably not great, to be honest. So somebody books in a call, and then from there, they're going into your tracker. And that should work for call booking, call cancel. So if they are booked in for a call and they cancel the call, it should automatically cancel them on your tracker then as well. Now, if you are using stuff like Facebook ads, if you're using stuff like lead magnets on landing pages and stuff like that as well, or if you're doing like school community when someone opts in for your school, we can get all of them to populate in your lead tracker as well and then tag them appropriately. The reason that tagging them is so important is when it comes to the identity matching, because if we're able to see like, right, this person just came in here and we'll call him Aaron. Very easy. From here, we have 5 other leads inside and we're like, right, well, do we actually know this guy? Well, he might have opted in through Instagram now. So we have his Instagram handle and then we also asked him for his email address. So we have Instagram name and email address. Then inside here, we can do a search to be like, right, well, is there anybody here matching the Instagram name? If not found, is there anybody matching the email address? If found, update that profile. So then we can go, right, well, this fella is actually this fella over here. So instead of creating a new duplicate contact, we can actually just update his profile. And that might just be updating a tag, might be moving the pipeline stage, or it might be updating like the value on that lead profile. And then from there, it could be to set up a reminder. But all of that is done because of identity matching. We have to make sure that it's not just creating like a new spreadsheet row, which a lot of the time is going to happen if you just try to set up a basic automation. The next part then is if we're finding the right person, we need them to move across the pipeline for us. We don't just want them to be getting updated and sitting there just as a list of all the leads. We want them to be segmented. So we want people like this where it's like, so all the people who have completed the applications will be sitting in this pipeline here. And then anybody who has completed an application, then they booked a call, they will be sitting inside here. Anybody who closed and then not closed. So this is what it would look like on your actual pipeline board. And then from there, as people go through the stages, so Aaron just books a call, he lands here inside this. Or he fills out the application, he's there. As soon as he books a call, he moves across to here. And then from there, he either closes or he doesn't close. If he closes, he moves to here. If he doesn't close, he moves over to here. And it just works that way with all the leads going across the board. And then from there, based on whatever's happening, you can set up reminders and follow-ups to trigger based on the actions. So it might be something like, right, we have two different types. We have a manual kind of reminder where it's just like a quick button. So let's say we were chatting with Aaron and he decided to not go ahead on the call and he said, yeah, look, I'm not getting paid there until next week. So you would just drag him from not close into a 7-day follow-up. What that would do is that would set a timer then on the person's profile for 7 days time. And when that timer goes off, it would grab him and then you would move him into your follow-up list. So every day you just look at your follow-up list and you'll see who you need to contact and why, and it will keep refreshing every single day. Then you also have like trigger based ones. So let's say if somebody downloaded the lead magnet, it might set the follow up reminder for them as tomorrow. So then when tomorrow comes and you look at your follow up list, you see, oh, here's all the people who downloaded the lead magnet yesterday. Let me reach out to them, see if they got access to it, see if they found it useful, see if we can actually get them to go over onto the coaching application. So we can trigger follow ups and reminders based off that. Now, one thing that if you're working with a mentorship or if you are as paying attention to your lead flow in the business at all, you should be knowing stuff like your close rate, your show rate. You should be knowing stuff like I suppose, the follow-up rate from the applications if they actually send to coaching calls, depending on what way you have it set up. If you run it off offer documents, you should have like, right, people who are at the VSL stage, then the offer document, then the payment link sent, how many convert, and we should have all these calculations done. Now, the problem with doing that is a lot of the time it's a lot of data, it's a lot of manually checking stuff to make sure it's right, and then it can be really inaccurate if it's not done like diligently. Better thing is automation. Because if you can automate the people to come in from your lead magnets, your coaching applications, your call book, call cancels, your closes, not closes, we can then get that data and display that into a dashboard for us, which makes it really easy. So that would be where the dashboards come in. So when it comes to seeing stuff like, right, well, this month here, for example, how many calls were booked? You had 16 calls booked, and then the show rate on that was 43%. Out of that, then you closed 4 of them, which was a total close rate of 25%. From there, you could see your cash collected versus your cash contracted. You could see what ratio that is. And then you could see out of that, where did the lead sources come from? But out of the ones that actually closed, where did they all come from? And then that's all calculated automatically. Like you're not there like dragging all the leads around the place and entering in all the leads. That's just from the data that's automatically populating into your lead tracker. Now, next week on Tuesday, I'm going to be showing you how to build some of these automations. This will change depending on what you're setting up your kind of lead tracker on. I always prefer to use Airtable with my clients because we can build out just a kind of a complete CRM with like anything from leads all the way up to clients and fulfillment and even aftercare all in the one place. But if you wanted to use something like Go High Level or something like that, the same automation principles still apply. I'm going to be showing you how to automatically get your applications to populate onto your chosen lead tracker, how to get it to update the pipeline stage then as like coaching application completed. I'm going to show you how to set up the calls booked and not booked. Then I'm also going to show you how to set up the keyword DMs to populate onto your lead tracker then as well. And if you've already got my resource on ManyChat, you can basically use the 3 different ManyChat automations I have to populate them onto this as well. So it'll be a full step-by-step like this where I'll literally build out that automation live with you. Just like click this button, you click this button, and you'll be able to do it. So if you want to watch that, subscribe, and I'll be posting that on Tuesday.